Hi there, folks. I'm Cameron Hansen, and I'm here with Lean Strategies International LLC to bring you this new and improved overview on the 5S system. In this lecture, you will learn what 5S is, why so many people are using 5S, and last but not least, we will introduce you to the 5S system. So what is the 5S system that everyone keeps talking about? Well, formally defined, the 5S system is a system of organization that is used to create a visual workplace while promoting safety, efficiency, teamwork, and making abnormalities visible. The system itself advocates an environment of cleanliness and organization that is used in industries all over the world. Part of what makes the system so powerful is that it can be applied almost anywhere. It can be applied to your home, your workplace, your yard. Heck, it can even be used as a form of data cleansing and organizing for your computer software and systems. You'll learn more about 5S's universal capabilities as you progress through the course lectures. Now that we have a formal definition for the system, let's discuss for a few minutes where the system comes from. If you haven't visited Japan before, the shops, plants, and cultures offer a unique experience that you'll never forget. Here is a picture of a manufacturing plant in Japan. As you can see, the floor is clean enough to serve dinner on. Oddly enough, many of the plants in Japan are this clean, if not cleaner, regardless of the work being performed at the plant. Much of this clean and orderly work environment has a direct relation to the 5S system. While the origins of 5S are still not absolutely clear to many, we do know that the system was made famous for its effect within the Toyota production system. Generally, when we hear the phrase 5S, it refers to 5 Japanese terms which lay out the 5 steps of the 5S system. Those 5 Japanese terms translated are siri, which means to sort, seiton, which means to arrange neatly or tidy, but we refer to this second S as straighten or set in order. The third S is seiso, which means to shine. After that we have seiketsu, or to standardize, and finally shitsuki, which actually means discipline, but is normally described as sustain. Together, these 5 steps make up the 5S system. Later on in this lecture, we will introduce each of the 5 steps in the 5S system. But before we do, I'd like to touch on 5 reasons the system is so powerful. The most obvious reason organizations implement 5S is that it creates a neat and orderly workplace which is organized and safe. After the decluttering of the first phase of 5S, users often find they now have more room to move around and are usually injected with a dose of excitement as they move through each of the 4 stages that follow. The second reason why 5S is so powerful is not quite as visible, but arguably, it is the most powerful of our 5 reasons. It's how the system develops people. Aside from its unique ability to bring teams together, you will often find that after one area performs 5S, surrounding departments will become quite excited about the visual changes they see. Additionally, the 5S system has quite an impact on an individual's mind. You see, for an individual to perform 5S, they must do so in a process-orientated or a system-like manner. This indirectly helps participants to begin developing a systems-orientated mind, which, as you will surely come to know, is very important to understand as the improvement journey progresses. Our third reason for performing 5S is that it highlights abnormalities. As you can tell here, it's very clear that this tool is not in place. Even more important than being able to tell if a tool is in its place or not is that the third stage of 5S, shine, is actually a powerful method of inspection which is used not just for cleaning, but as a foundational precursor for strategies like total productive maintenance and other tools such as Kanban and the SMED system. While we mentioned 5S's unique ability to form and develop lean thinking minds, our fourth reason for 5S focuses on the system's positive influence on behavior. Because 5S must be sustained and requires regular review and maintenance, the system creates a sense of pride and ownership in individuals. Along with this sudden sense of ownership, it teaches team structure and discipline. Our final reason why everyone should use the 5S system is its cost to benefit. As you perform more and more 5S projects, you will find that 5S requires almost no initial investment, but the returns are quite substantial. In fact, it's a well-known fact that to even calculate a small portion of returns from 5S, you would have to consider the effects of people working together, time saved creating value rather than looking for tools, mistakes that most likely would have happened but didn't as a result of the 5S activity, quicker responses, a reliable system, and of course, improved customer service. While I'm sure some talented accountant somewhere could place an aggregate dollar amount on those considerations, it would be very hard to repetitively compound the many savings that 5S influences as a starting point for improvement journeys. In fact, you will certainly come to realize that although 5S does not make up the entire strategy of lean, without it, any type of excellence would be hard to achieve. Well, now that we understand what 5S is and why it's so powerful, let's get to know each of the 5 S's within the system. In our first phase of 5S, we are challenged to sort through items. Basically, this step of the system challenges us to sort through all items, separating the needed items from the unneeded items. If you have ever cleaned your room before, you can probably understand that this step is sometimes very challenging for people to complete. In later lectures, we'll discuss some helpful tools that you can use to make the first phase of your 5S journey a bit easier. A place for everything, and everything in its place, is the mantra of our second S. Here, we begin to make items visual and situate commonly used items as close to the point of use as possible. After everything has found its home, we're ready to begin our third S, shine. After sorting and setting the area in order, cleaning is not too difficult, but let's remember that this third stage is not just focused on cleaning. In fact, there are 5 very important aspects associated with the shining stage of 5S, which you will learn about in the coming lectures. Next, we begin to standardize the area. This is where the system generally shifts from organization and visual management to a powerful influence on culture and behavior. Here we attach procedures, policies, and systems to the area, establishing a solid foundation for sustainment to come. In the final stage of 5S, we focus on sustainment. Many would say this is the hardest of the 5 S's, but we will look at a few important methods that you can use to train, coach, mentor, and continuously improve each and every aspect of the area you're involved in. Think of sustainment like raising children. If punishment and audits were the only thing you used, then your children would soon become discouraged and worn out. But guiding their journey with positive rewards and recognition helps them to understand that maintenance of good behavior will earn rewards. Well, that wraps up this course of the 5S system. And while you may be thinking, we've just barely begun, don't worry. By the end of this course, you'll know everything you need to know to begin your personal or organizational 5S journey. Who knows? Maybe you can help me get things in order here at the office too. So, until next time, my friends, keep on improving, and we will keep on giving you solutions that ignite your power.